designated, as if I'm remembering correctly, and this is back in the 70s and 80s, where Southampton actually designated certain places like old motels that were otherwise useless as places where Suffolk County could house the indigent or the people who were at the moment homeless.
And they still have that throughout the East End. They have that. They also have units throughout the East End, rental units that are affordable housing that people get into. The issue is the waiting list. Often, and not to speak out of turn about anything, but often many of these places are in less desirable locations with people who have chronic substance abuse issues, chronic mental health issues.
So you're putting them right back into the problem, right back into the fire.
Right, right. A lot of the systems that we have in place have their own challenges. And to maneuver our folks through these different systems sometimes is very hard. The federal monies that have come out through the stimulus package have been really some great programs are going to come out of this money and this funding, some of which we have applied for. But what is the hope is that more affordable housing will be available. Some of the transportation challenges that we have will be eliminated, and that services will be more accessible to some of the folks that we serve.
On that stimulus package, I know I'm on the board of the daycare center, the East Hampton Daycare Center, and there's supposedly, 18 gazillion dollars, I'm exaggerating,
It feels that way, though.
allocated to child care, or early child care or something. And, but trying to get your hands on that money is a real trick, because you go to your state, your federal person, they say go to your state person, you go to a state person, they say go to your county person, and the county person says, no, we have to have this.
It is very complicated.
It seems to me there's lines all over the place, and nobody kind of gets the direct line yet.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with you. I've been fortunate enough and lucky enough by the Department of Justice and by some of the federal partners. I've been asked to review some of these stimulus grants and been on conference calls with Washington for the past couple of weeks reviewing about some of the details of some of these grants have come in. The requirements of some of these grants are very, very onerous. They are to try to figure out what's some of the things that you need to be included in these packets to access these monies are very, very difficult. And the response to these applications are overwhelming. I know when I apply for federal grants traditionally before the stimulus money came out, 200 organizations around the country would be getting this, would be applying for this money, and they would give out maybe 10. Well, now I'm on a review panel where they got 3,000 organizations apply for almost that same pot of money, and maybe they don't know how many they can give out based on what's going on. The directive from the Obama administration was to give out the money as quickly as possible, but some of the issues was the infrastructure to give out that money wasn't in place. And now we're struggling to try to, figure out a way to best.
Well, what the daycare center discovered is that apparently you go to lobbyists. The big bad word lobbyists. And the lobbyist people supposedly are, I don't know, I have no idea, I'm quoting.
We've heard some of that too. But they've put out a lot of money in requests for proposals.
Wait, now what review panel are you on?
I'm in a review panel for right now a youth mentoring grant, and also an adolescent.
Is that nationwide, or
it's nationwide?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's been a great opportunity to see what folks all around the country are doing with some of their programs.
Do you have to go to Washington for that?
I do not on this particular review because there's no time. In the coming weeks, I will be on.
Do you do it all online?
You do it all online, and not to tell you about my problems, but some of that could turn into a different show. But some of the infrastructure that they have is they have a review system where you input all of your scoring online. Well, because they have so many reviewers now reviewing all of these grants, every grant that
now they have reviewers reviewing the reviews.
Right, but the system, the website has been crashed. crashing because too many people have been accessing it. And they have these tight deadlines on how to review this material, and they've been having a lot of trouble on how to get this in.
We have very little time left, but I want you have about 30 seconds. I want you in 30 seconds to tie up what your hopes are for the retreat. What was that?
I do not know, but now I have 20. My hopes are for the retreat is that people on the East End really recognize that domestic violence is a real problem for us out here, just as it is around the country, and that it's really important to support our fundraisers like the Artists Against Abuse fundraiser that's coming up. And it's also really important to think of us when you're thinking of giving, being generous in giving, that we really do some wonderful things. And Jeffrey Friedman, thank you very much for being on the show. I appreciate it so much.
Thanks, Jeffrey. It was a good show. At least I hope it was. Thank you for tuning into The Law and You, and thank you to our sponsors, Bridge Abstract and Farrell Fritz. Thank you. That's good.